Hello again, welcome back to the Sunday Update. I'm Lucas, as ever, hope you're doing well. I think this is probably going to be quite a short episode because it's been a very quiet week for me. I've not really been up to that much, so I've sort of had to scraggle at a few very small things this week to constitute doing a vlog, because I still want to keep on doing this, because I'm actually enjoying it, which is strange. I wasn't sure how much I would enjoy it. Even the editing, I've spent far too long editing these. Last week's vlog, for example, I edited it all, went to export it, and the entire file corrupted. So what have I been up to this week? The only real things of note that have happened is that I've been seeing friends. It's really been that quiet. I had a very, very good friend of mine. I'd say my best friend, but I don't want to cause an argument. I had one of my very good friends come up to Manchester for the day, and we just had a look round and got some food and sat in the bit that's not Piccadilly Gardens but is next to the Printworks, and I can't remember the name for it. It's a square. I couldn't tell you any more than that. And we just had a really lovely time. We've done this before. This happened a year and a half ago or so, I think. Well, I really hope so, because otherwise I'm going to feel really embarrassed when I get called out on it. And when we did it then, it was really good fun too. And we just wanted to do it again, so we did. It was great. And I think the reason it was so great is that I was looking at Manchester in a new light. And I'm very, very guilty of this. I know I am. That I get used to a place. I start just taking things for granted, as it were. Things that if someone else comes in and they go, oh wow, look at this, and you go, oh actually yeah, that is really cool now I think about it, but I've just taken it for granted for the last 6 months, 2 years, however long you're there for. I did it in Sheffield a lot, so I had 15 years worth of complacency to get rid of there. And it's so wonderful getting a second opinion in on just how amazing a place can be, because it really is fantastic here. And it's not so great, when I'm looking out of the window behind the camera and all I can see is a row of red brick houses. But then you get into Manchester and you see, you see the Piccadilly Gardens, you see St Anne's Square, you see all the parks. I forget how green Manchester is because I don't live in a green part of it. There's really so much going on here, and I take so little of it no, that's not right. And I take so much of it for granted. So that's something I think I'm going to work on. Being better at appreciating what I've got, and that can extend to people I'm friends with, to opportunities I get as well. But for now, baby steps. I'll start with places and see where it goes. So yeah, it's been a lot of seeing friends this week. I caught up with a friend of mine from back in the old days, about a year ago or so now. In fact, nearly a year to the day, I've just checked my calendar, when I did wrestling training. That was a time. It didn't last particularly long. I might tell you why later to fill out the vlog a little bit more, because I've not got much to talk about. But I made a couple of good friends over there, and I've been catching up with one of them over the last couple of days, and it's been wonderful, just really great to catch up with an old friend. And that's something I need to do more when I'm back home. I need to catch up on all my old school friends, because that is something I'm really, really bad for doing. I'll see 2 people over 3 weeks, and then maybe I don't have enough social energy. I'm not particularly sociable anyway. That's why I'm talking to a camera instead of to a person. The reason that I had to give up the wrestling training was about 10 months ago. 10, 11 months ago now. So every time I do that, I'm looking down at the calendar on my computer screen. I'm not just being really awkward and trying to make it all melodramatic. About 10 or 11 months ago, I was walking home from rehearsal one day, and a guy just bottled me from behind. I wasn't paying enough attention. He just knocked me out, and I fell, and I knocked out my front 2 teeth. Well, partially. They fractured on the pavement. It wasn't particularly pleasant. Although, to be honest, I was on too much of an adrenaline rush to actually feel pain or anything. I sort of walked in blood spewing from my mouth, minus a phone and wallet and all that good stuff. And so, has anyone got a towel? I think I need to clean myself up with blood. Ugh. Wasn't pretty, really wasn't pretty. And since then, I wasn't allowed to go back. My face was at too much danger. So, and I fully understand that, and I get that, of course. I could have gone on with a gum shield, but they've never agreed with me. Or maybe it just reminds me too much of rugby. I never particularly liked it. So yeah, it's been good to catch up with them again. We've been out for our own various reasons, and it's good to catch up with people again, you know. Now, I told you this week wasn't particularly interesting because the second thing and the final thing on my list of things that I could vlog about is sewing. Yes, I know. I've been needing a sewing kit for a while now, and I finally pulled my finger out and bought one. My favourite coat, in fact, hang on. This absolute bad boy is my favourite piece of clothing that I own at the moment. It's just wonderful. It's warm, and it's picking up all my fluff because I had to put it somewhere so it wasn't in the vlog. It's just a wonderful coat. But these buttons, as much as I love them, have been coming off quite a lot recently. So I had to sew them back on. I learned how to sew. I got ridiculed by my friends who thought I should know how to sew already. But it's not something I've had to learn before, despite the fact that I wear so many shirts. These buttons are actually good enough that they don't really need sewing back on. I've said that now, they're all going to start popping off, aren't they? But it's okay, because I've got a sewing kit now and I know how to sew them back on. But sewing is one of the skills that I think we should be taught earlier. There are a lot of skills I think we should be taught earlier. How to deal with your taxes, how to pay bills, basic things like sewing, ironing, how to be the most economical with your washing machine. This is the sort of thing that I think general studies should be, for example, rather than just an extra comprehension test. But yeah, that's one more skill checked off, and hopefully there'll be a few more to come. I don't know what skills I need to get checked off at the moment. I quite like to know how to pay the bills, seeing as I'm currently paying them at the moment, so that'd be nice. That's probably about it for me this week. I've not really done too much. It's been a week off. People have had exams, but I've instead not. Hopefully next week we'll pick up a bit. We've got lectures starting back up, we've got rehearsals starting back up, and I'm sure I'll talk at length about them next week. But in the meantime, you've got a slightly shorter than usual vlog, and I'm sure there are some of you who are happy about that. So, I shan't keep putting longer. I've been Lucas, you've been great, you've been watching the Sunday Update. Thank you very much, and take care.